Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be making one of my favorite soup or stews of all time, which is the Harissa chickpea stew. And I say soup or stew because you'll see it's not really that thick for a stew, but it's still more like a stew, I suppose. But to get started, let me just show you quickly the ingredients we're going to be working with, and I'll have them all listed in the description below, so I won't go through it just now. But to get to this point, it took me roughly 10 minutes to gather all this, to wash the vegetables and prep certain things. And two things I just want to point out really quickly are what I'm using for the harissa and for the stock. For harissa, I'm using this Mina brand spicy, and they do have a milder if you prefer mild, but I prefer this paste over the powder. And I'm also using Better Than Bouillon instead of just store-bought stock. I just think that this tastes better. And this, you just use like a teaspoon per cup of water. But that's what I'm going with. And so, you can use whatever is best for you, but just wanted to point that out. And now I think we're ready to get started. We'll push the timer. And to start, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut the red bell pepper. And what I like to do is take the tops and bottoms, and I like to just kind of core the inside. And if you just kind of do it this way, you don't have to mess with too many of the seeds. It kind of stays intact, so you can just kind of toss the core. I forgot my little trash bin. 1 second. All right. And so you can toss the core and get rid of the stem. And then you can just kind of cut them into big chunks. I like to keep my bell pepper kind of in about the size of the onions or the potatoes. So my preference for the soup is to keep things a little chunkier. Now, if you prefer to have everything smaller, you can definitely dice everything smaller and keep it easier to eat, but I like the chunks. And so, but it's really your preference. I think the bigger the pieces are, the more it's like a stew, and the smaller the pieces are, I guess the more it's like a soup. But go ahead and get that chopped. I'll go ahead and get the second one. And I apologize if I'm slow at cutting. Like I said, I'm just a regular guy that likes to cook, right? And so I'm definitely not trained, and I'm not, you know, really good with knives and cut really fast. So if you're moving a lot faster than me, then by all means, just speed ahead in this video. But I'm pretty slow, and so I'm just trying to show you, in real time what it really, takes me to make these dishes. And so I'm not gonna lie to you and say it only took me like 5 minutes, but I'm just kind of showing you the full real time video of how long it really took for me to make this dish. And once that's done, what we're going to do is go ahead and cut the potatoes. And again, I'm using baby medley potatoes, and you can go with fingerling potatoes. Anything that's waxy, you don't really want to use a starchy potato like a russet, because those are going to kind of fall apart into soup. And so you want something waxier. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut these in half, just so it's they cook a little faster. You just don't want them to be too big. And so go ahead and cut those. And I'm using, again, a pound of potatoes for this. And if they're a little too big, you can cut them in half again, right? Just make them as big as you want. Now, I like to keep mine relatively bigger, like I said earlier. If you prefer to cut these smaller, I mean, go ahead and cut it to the size that you prefer. right, so next what we're gonna do is get a pot and we're gonna start sauteing the vegetables. Now we'll go ahead, I'm gonna turn this on high heat and I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. All right, and now once that's in there, just gonna coat the bottom. All right, and once the pot is heated, we can go ahead and start sauteing the onions and the peppers first. Now, for the onions, I'm using frozen pearl onions, and I've thawed them in advance, which was part of the 10 minutes of my pre-prep time. And so my onions were in the microwave for about 7 minutes, so they've been fully thawed. And so again, but if yours are not fully thawed and they're still really cold, then you might want to put them in first and saute it a little bit before you add the peppers. But if you're using fresh onions or if you've thawed them out pretty well, then you can go ahead and add the bell peppers in with the onions now. What we're going to do with this is saute until the onions start to brown. And I'm just going to skip ahead 1 minute so you don't have to watch me sit here and do nothing. Okay, and at this point, it still needs to cook a little bit more, but I'm going to put this aside. And in the meantime, as this continues to saute, what we can do is go ahead and get our ginger ready. Now, what I like to do is just chop it with my knife. And you can also, I guess, use a grater or mince it or whatever if you want it to be finer. But I kind of like it a little bit chunkier. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my ginger chopped. And I'll go ahead and fast forward about 3 minutes. So it's really just me chopping the ginger and just continue to saute the onions until it's ready. All right, and at this point, I think it's about done. Let me just show you. You can kind of see a little bit of the browning starting with the onions, and everything should be soft. And that was about 5 minutes of sauteing to get to this point. And now just give it another quick stir. Just make sure you're getting no burning at the bottom. Next, we're going to add the potatoes, get that mixed in, and we're just going to saute for about another minute. Now that's sauteed a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add the minced garlic, using about 4 to 5 cloves. And just keep in mind as we're doing this that there might not be a lot of oil or liquid left at the bottom of the pan. So you just want to make sure you're going to get browning, but just that nothing's burning. So it's good to just continue to stir and mix the pot as we add more ingredients in. All right, and once the garlic is fragrant and mixed in there, we're going to go ahead and add the tablespoon of ginger and get that mixed in. Next, we're going to add the cumin, which I'm using 4 tablespoons, and go ahead and add the harissa, which I'm using 6 tablespoons. And the harissa, again, I like things a little spicy, so you definitely don't have to use as much as I am, but I prefer 6 tablespoons. And for the cumin is optional. You don't necessarily need it. I like cumin, but I know some people may not like the taste. It can be overpowering, and it definitely will smell. And make everything in your house smell like cumin. So, you can be cautious with that, but I prefer to use cumin. I just like the flavor of it. And now go ahead and add the chicken stock or vegetable stock. Now, again, I like to use it better than bouillon. And so I'm adding it in first. I like to kind of just toast the bouillon paste a little bit before I mix it in with the water. So I'm just going to give that a nice toss in the pan, get everything cooked down. Also just trying to get the harissa cooked a little bit, and you'll see the harissa get a little bit dark, like a darker red shade. And once that's all well incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and add my 6 cups of water. And again, if you're using broth, now's when you're going to be pouring in 6 cups of broth, whether it's chicken or vegetable. I think if you're using vegetable broth, it makes the whole dish vegetarian, so it's easier or more versatile, I guess. More people can eat it. All right, and now I'm just going to give everything a good stir. And if you're using the broth or the water, you can kind of deglaze the pan too. So I'm just scraping the bottom of the pan to get any browning off, and maybe it'll just add to the flavor of the soup. And we'll go ahead and add the chickpeas. I'm using 2 cans of chickpeas, which I rinsed and drained in the sink prior. And so go ahead and get that all nice and mixed in. Next, what we're going to want to do is just bring this to a boil, and then we're going to cover it and just let this simmer. It took me 18 minutes, but what you're looking for is to just get the potatoes cooked. And so you can like use a fork or something to just poke it and make sure that it's soft. We just want to make sure that the potatoes are done. So go ahead and take a fork and just poke one of the potatoes, make sure they're soft. And if they're good, then we're ready to move on. And the last step really is going to be adding the coconut milk. So go ahead and take a can of coconut milk, and you just want to make sure that it's unsweetened. Sometimes coconut milk could have added sugar, but I think for the most part, most of the cans you'll find in the store are unsweetened, but you just want to just double check that. And we're also going to want to add about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is roughly 1/2 of a lemon's worth of lemon juice. So we'll go ahead and squeeze and add that in. And I cooked this for about another 4 minutes, but in this time you can also add salt and pepper. And I like to add 2 teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And I also like to actually add another half of lemon's worth of lemon juice, so about 4 tablespoons, but that's your preference. And once everything's boiled and cooked through, it's at the finish line. I think this soup is ready to go. So let me just go ahead and stop the timer. And you can see the total cook time for me came out to be 49:41. So just under 50 minutes. But you definitely probably could have saved time somewhere. So if you were able to get through this faster than me, I mean, good for you. But we're all set. I'm going to turn the heat off, and you're just going to want to let this cool, and it'll be ready to serve. And you're probably wondering about the cilantro. So I know that not everybody is a fan, but I personally do like cilantro with this soup. And so I'm going to go ahead and chop some fresh cilantro as finely as I can. And this I like to just sprinkle on the top as I serve it. And so it doesn't necessarily need to get mixed into the soup, which you definitely can do that. But I like to just kind of sprinkle it on top, almost like a garnish. Presentationally, it looks great. But I also think the flavors just work well with the other flavors of the dish. And there you have it. That is harissa chickpea stew. And I hope you enjoy this dish as much as I do. Until next time.